Genealogy News from Geneatopia. I'm Patty Roy, also known as Dinah Larkham in Second Life. Today is Tuesday, June 27th, 2017, and this is episode 104. Ancestry.com has confidentially submitted a draft registration statement for a proposed initial public offering to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. There is a provision in the securities law that allows companies to submit preliminary IPO plans to the government without having to publicly reveal their financial details. This provision encourages more companies to file IPOs and allows the regulators to review and comment on the company's prospectus before the competitors see it. Ancestry did not disclose the price range or the number of shares that it will be selling. The SEC is reviewing the request. Ancestry is migrating its entire infrastructure to Amazon Web Services. Ancestry has lots of data, and it uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to find related records and family trees of ancestors. This all requires lots of computing power. Ancestry is in the process of moving all its databases and services to the cloud. Once this is completed, the data center in Salt Lake City will be decommissioned. The end result will improve performance for Ancestry services and allow Ancestry to innovate quickly. There is a new collaboration between the Idaho State Archives and Ancestry. The project is expected to be completed in the next 6 months. The result will be birth records, death records, and prison records will be found on Ancestry. The records will be searchable. The North Carolina website Digital NC continues to add more collections. Recent additions include a new batch of materials that tell powerful stories from Black communities in Burlington, Graham, and other townships of Alamance County, 10 years of the newspaper Q Notes, which focuses primarily on gay and lesbian issues, a batch of materials from the Beaufort Historical Association, Johnson C. Smith University student newspaper called the University Student for the years 1926 to 1930, more materials from the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons of North Carolina, more issues of Wake Forest University's The Student for the years 1906 through 1935. They added more scrapbooks from the Central Piedmont Community College. 2 more issues of the Wilson Advance from March of 1876 join the other digitized issues from 1874 to 1899. And the 1960 yearbook from Epps High School. The Utah State University Special Collections and Archives plans to digitize the Brigham Young College Image Collection. This college was open from 1877 until 1926. It's estimated that it will take 2 years to digitize the collection of images. The collection of images will include a comprehensive exhibit of photos and artist renderings of the campus, pages from the CRISM yearbooks, and commencement programs and student publications. The Digital Public Library of America, or DPLA, has added lots of resources from Maryland. These resources come from public libraries, museums, historical societies, and college libraries. It includes 19th century diaries and personal correspondence, photographs documenting everyday life on Maryland's eastern shore, and documents that help reveal the lives of enslaved people and families in the decades before the Civil War. There is a collection of letters and artifacts from Edgar Allan Poe, lots of Civil War artifacts from private collections, photographs of women at local farms during World War I, and lots more. The New York Public Library has added more New York City directories to their collection. City directories can provide more detail than some of the early census records and can be useful for distinguishing families with similar names. One recent additional city directory predates the U.S. federal census. It's for the year 1786. A few more directories have been added from the 1790s. They've also added a few directories from the 1800s and some directories for the early 1900s. There are now 137 years of New York City directories at the New York Public Library's digital collection site, and they cover the years from 1786 through 1923. The Oregon Historical Society has launched its digital collections website. The new website includes items such as manuscripts, photographs, and film and oral histories. Some of the notable collections on the website include photographs from Oregon conservation pioneers William L. Finley, Irene Finley, and Herman Bowman, newspaper photographs from the Oregon Journal, papers of Joel Palmer, 1848 through 1880, Superintendent of Indian Affairs for the Oregon Territory and an Oregon State Legislature, landscape photographs, early 20th century photographs from Portland's Kaiser Photo Company, select oral histories, and more than 1,000 portraits from the Carte de Visite collection 1861 to 1893. The Society will continue to add to the website with more items from their holdings. The Sons of the Republic of Texas has received a grant to continue digitizing their archive of 16th through 20th century Mexican manuscripts housed at the University of Texas at San Antonio Libraries. The entire collection will be at the digital portal. The Mexican manuscript collection includes items that document the social, political, and religious life in central Mexico. You can find information about individuals who influenced the country's development, financial records, personal and business correspondence, censuses, and maps. Reclaim the Records has been pursuing making New York State records freely available. They have obtained marriage records from various years and placed them on the Internet Archive for everyone to access them for free. They have now obtained New York State Death Index for the years 1880 to 1956. They are just beginning to put all these records on the Internet Archive. They are expecting to have all the records available online by August. The Library of Congress has launched a web exhibit to complement their exhibit called Echoes of the Great War, American Experiences of World War I. Some of the narratives from World War I veterans are being placed on the website. Part 1 is there now, and it's called Arguing Over War and Over Here. Part 2 will be available in July, and the topic for those narratives is Over There. Part 3 will be available in September, and the topic will be A World Overturned. The National Library of Wales has launched a website that has free access to more than 1.2 million pages from more than 450 Welsh journals. The years range from 1735 to 2007, and the website allows users to search the content as well as browse. The journals range from academic and scientific publications to literary and popular magazines. They contain a wealth of information relating to Wales and its history. The Scotland's People website will be adding over 36,000 Presbyterian church records covering the years from 1744 to 1855. These records are for births and baptisms, marriages and proclamations, and deaths and burials. You will need a subscription to access these records. The Library and Archives Canada has released their monthly report about the digitization of Canadian Expeditionary Force personnel files. They are now up to the name of Patterson. These service files are for soldiers of the First World War. They are digitizing the files basically in alphabetical order. They started the project in 2014, and they plan to have the project completed by the end of 2018. At the current rate, the project should be completed by the end of 2018. They're about 70% done, same as last month. The Librarian Archivist of Canada, Guy, and I do not know how to pronounce his name, Berthamume, or Berthiaume. He spoke recently at the Ontario Genealogical Society conference, and he said that the project would be completed and all the files online by November 11th, 2018. And this is known as Remembrance Day in Canada and known as Veterans Day in the United States. The big announcement from the recently held Ontario Genealogical Society conference was a partnership between OGS and Find My Past. Find My Past will publish millions of OGS records online in a series of phased releases. The first phase will be launched later this year with the following records coming online: the Ontario Name Index, which contains names of those found in publications related to Ontario; the Ontario Genealogical Society Provincial Index, that contains data from many different sources; Oddfellows life insurance applications; and Ontario Genealogical Society Bulletin Families and Newsleaf will be added to Percy. The 2018 OGS conference will be held June 1st through the 3rd in 2018 in Guelph, Ontario. They have issued a call for presentations. The name of the conference is Upper Canada to Ontario, Birth of a Nation. Some suggestions for proposals for presentations are migration to Ontario. Where did they arrive from? How did they get here? And why did they choose Ontario? Sources available to trace Canadians in their country of origin. The importance of using maps in your research, changing Ontario districts and counties, Canada and beyond. How can new technologies assist our research back in history? And methods to document and preserve our research for future generations. The deadline to submit proposals is August 5th, 2017. The Nova Scotia Archives has added more vital records to its website. These records were released on December 31st, 2016, and they've been digitized and indexed. The new records include births for 1916, marriages for 1941, and deaths for 1966. There was an announcement that the Quebec City Daily newspaper, and I don't know how to pronounce this either, Le Soleil, Soleil, is going to be digitized. And I can't pronounce this either, the Bibliothèque et Archives Nationales du Québec, or known as BANQ, B-A-N-Q, is in the process of digitizing all the years. On their website, the issues from the years 1972 to 2006 are available, and they are free to access. They are, or were, currently digitizing the years from 1956 to 1971, and eventually they will reach all the way back to 1896. However, there's been a setback. BANQ will be cutting 40 jobs and plans to restructure. Digitization projects have been suspended. The cutbacks will eliminate 29 permanent positions and many temporary positions. There was a cut of over $800,000 in funding in the last provincial budget, and this has caused BANQ to take a series of measures to reduce costs. They will be reducing 5.42% of their staff, and they are currently looking for a president and CEO. The Beaver magazine was launched in 1920 as a newsletter of the Hudson's Bay Company in northern Canada. About 70% of the magazine's content has been uploaded to the Canada's History Archive. The remaining issues of the magazine are being processed and will become available for access in the fall of 2017. The Beaver was renamed Canada's History Magazine in 2010 and explores the history of Canada. The archive contains nearly 250 issues of the Beaver as well as Canada's history and kayak magazines. More issues will continue to be added. Over in Ireland, there's a new website for the Wexford Library Digital Local Collection. The collection contains local historical and parish journals, photographs, historical postcards, and some historical texts all relating to County Wexford. The collection will be expanded as additional material is digitized. RootsIreland.ie has added almost 25,000 record transcriptions to its Kildare genealogy database. There are baptisms, marriages, burials, and graveyard inscriptions for many different parishes in County Kildare. They have also uploaded 30,000 Roman Catholic baptism transcriptions from East Galway. Roots Ireland is a subscription website that costs about $250 a year. You can also get a subscription for the day, month, or 6 months. They specialize in Irish Catholic church records. The Norwegian Digital Archive has launched a new redesigned website. There are new features and lots of new content. The main page presents a few links, and there is a menu to get to other areas of the site. The results of a search are presented differently. There is a share link so that you can share a page in an email, Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Not all the new features are available in English. As a result of user feedback, some changes will be made to the new design. A new database is available with information about people born in the territory of contemporary Ukraine between 1650 and 1920. It took 4 years to digitize, systematize, and assemble entries from historical documents. The database contains over 2.5 million people, and it's free to use. Once you register, you can construct your family tree. The analytical engine will automatically compare the information from various trees and suggest additions to be added to your tree. Family Tree Maker 2017 still has not been released. During testing, there have been reports of a large number of sync issues with Family Tree Maker data on the desktop and the trees at Ancestry. So Makiev, the company behind Family Tree Maker, shut down syncing. The syncing is the ability to work on your tree in Family Tree Maker at your own computer or work on your tree on the Ancestry website, and both versions will be updating using syncing. 100 beta testers tested modifications made to syncing, and after that more beta testers began syncing. All has gone well. They are still running diagnostic tests to see how everything is performing. If all goes well with the testing, Family Tree Maker 2017 will be released on July 15th. As a result of all this testing and the problems that arose, more new safety features have been added to Family Tree Maker. Whenever there is a delete request, a question will be asked to make sure you really want to delete people. The sync log will no longer disappear. You will need to click a button to make it go away. Bruce Busby of Roots Magic recently said that the Roots Magic feature to sync your tree with Ancestry will be available when it's ready, and he said this before. No date has been mentioned or will be mentioned as to when the feature will become available in Roots Magic. Mac Family Tree has a new update, which brings it up to version 8.2. The new version has lots of new fractal charts and more configuration options for charts. Performance has been improved for rendering charts, family search integration, and Cloud Tree, which allows multiple people to work on the same tree. There have been many family search improvements. Here's a list of those. Comparing local and family search persons has been improved. Coordinates of places are automatically downloaded from family search. LDS ordinance added to reserve, print, share with temple, and etc., those kinds of things. And family tree is automatically scanned for possible LDS ordinances that can be reserved. Mac Family Tree 8.2 is a free upgrade for all those using version 8 or 8.1. For everyone else, it's on sale at 50% off until July 2nd. The corresponding Apple mobile app is also 50% off. The Genealogy website is no longer a community resource for genealogy and family history bloggers. Most of the operations have been taken over at the new site genealoggerstribe.com. This new site is run by a team of genealogy bloggers. It will be run by the famous genealogy blogger Dear Myrtle, otherwise known as Pat Richley Erickson. The new team consists of 15 well-known genealoggers. They have plans to help content developers with useful information such as resource links, daily blogging prompts, and new technologies. 23andMe has a new maternal haplogroup report that is based on mitochondrial DNA. That is DNA that's passed down from a mother to her children. Both sons and daughters receive mitochondrial DNA from their mother, and only the daughters pass it on to their children. So this is basically from the mother's line. From mitochondrial DNA, you can find out your haplogroup. This represents an ancestor from many thousands of years ago, and they are used to show migration paths. 23andMe has released a redesigned version of the maternal haplogroup report. The new report walks each customer step by step through the points where their maternal line branched off from others thousands of years ago. The report also lets you know if you share maternal haplogroup with notable individuals in history. Another new report at 23andMe is called Your DNA Family. It shows you how many matches you have, which are only those people who have opted to share to DNA relatives. There's a map that shows the location of your matches and an ancestry composition breakdown of your matches. These last two features do not tell you who the matches are that make up the map or the ancestry composition. Living DNA is a new DNA testing company that is focusing on breaking down your DNA for different regions of England. They now allow you to download your raw data. However, there's not much you can do with it yet. Other websites such as GEDmatch, MyHeritage, Family Tree DNA, and Prometheus, which is used for health analysis, don't accept uploads from living DNA. When they first released this feature, you had to click to agree to indemnify living DNA for any costs that may incur related to you downloading your data. They have reworded the agreement, so it now says that you agree to release living DNA from any liability which may occur as a result of downloading your raw data. They've also changed the admixture results to add confidence levels. Now you see two percentages next to each region that represents complete and cautious confidence levels. DNA lectures that were given at the last Who Do You Think You Are event that was held in Birmingham are being placed on YouTube. I'll have a link in the show notes so that you can go to the channel to view the videos. At this time, they are still uploading videos, but there are already 7 available. Find My Past releases new records every Friday. Here's what's been released in the last few weeks. They've added over 5 million new records to the World War I draft registration collections for the United States. This is the last phase for adding records to this collection, and it brings the total now to more than 25 million records. There is a new collection for the Illinois Northern District Naturalization Index, and they've added some records for Rhode Island, births and baptisms, 1600-1935, deaths and burials, 1628 to 1930, and church records, 1671 to 1899. They've added over 5,000 obituaries that were printed in the Winchester Evening Star. This newspaper was printed in Winchester, Virginia, but it covers the Shenandoah Valley area. They've added records to the Scotland Post Office directories. This is a browsable collection. And they added records to the Scotland monumental inscriptions. There is a browse-only collection for the New Brunswick County Deed Registry books. Another new browsable collection is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Obituary Card Index and Notices, 1876 to 2007. There are 3 Norfolk browse collections that have been added, one for marriages, a collection of poor law union records, and nonconformist records. They've added the Lincolnshire Kesteven Militia ballot list for 1824, Over 9,000 records have been added to the Essex Burial Index, and they've added the final record set for the collection of England and Wales crime, prison, and punishment 1770-1935. They've added additional records to the 1939 register. These new additions relate to vacant addresses recorded in the register. This important collection is a census substitute because the 1931 census was destroyed by fire, and there wasn't a census taken in 1941 because of the war. So the 1939 register can be used like a census. Find My Past is expanding its collection of Canadian records with the addition of the 1881 and 1891 Canada censuses. There have been 11 new titles added to the British newspapers collection, and over 1 million new articles have been added. This now means that the 20 millionth page has been added to the British Newspaper Archive website. The British Newspaper Archive was launched in November 2011. Find My Past scans and digitizes the historical newspapers that are located at the British Library newspaper collection at the library's site at Boston Spa, Yorkshire. They are now at the halfway point to digitize 40 million pages. The website is free to search, and then you can purchase credit or subscription to view the content. The old Fulton, New York postcard website has added about 100 new newspaper titles. This site started as a collection for old postcards and evolved to include newspapers. It mostly pertains to New York, but it also has things from other states and Canada. The North Carolina historic newspapers will be digitizing more pages during the coming year. These pages will be added to the Library of Congress's Chronicling America newspaper website. In 2016, the National Digital Newspaper Program expanded the years for newspapers it could digitize to 1963. The North Carolina Historic Newspapers has selected newspaper titles that cover pivotal events in North Carolina during these later years. More than 100,000 pages of early newspapers from 6 Wisconsin communities has been added to the Wisconsin Online Library. 11 new titles have been added. This is only available to Wisconsin residents. The Militant, a weekly newspaper of the Socialist Workers' Party, can be viewed online for all issues from 1946 to the present. Plans are to add issues from 1928 through 1945. The Socialist Workers' Party was very active in the U.S., challenging restrictive ballot access laws in court. The Virginia Newspaper Project has announced an ongoing project to make the Library of Virginia's Civilian Conservation Corps, or CCC, newspapers available on the website Virginia Chronicle. These camp newspapers were published from 1934 to 1941 and were mostly distributed in camps throughout the Commonwealth. They offer a picture of camp life during the Depression. They also contain the names of people who were active in the CCC. Some of the newspapers are already available. Now for some new records that have been added at Family Search. Here are some collections that are new indexed record collections. Florida Old Confederate Soldiers and Sailors Home Records, 1888 to 1938. Florida Spanish Land Grants, 1821 to 1822. And Florida World War I Service Cards, 1917 to 1919. Some new browsable image collections added include Italy, La Spezia, Catholic Church Records, 1838 to 1857. New Hampshire, United States Naturalization Records, 1906 to 1993. Rhode Island Naturalization Records, 1907 to 1991. Vermont Naturalization Records, 1908 to 1987. Next, these collections have indexed records added to an existing collection. Brazil, Pernambuco Civil Registration, 1804 to 2014. China Imperial Examinations and Related Papers, 1646 to 1904. Costa Rica Civil Registration, 1823 to 1975. Lesotho Evangelical Church Records, 1874 to 1983. Louisiana Orleans Parish Vital Records, 1905 to 1913 and 1955 to 1963. Louisiana Parish Marriages, 1837 to 1957. Michigan Obituaries, 1820 to 2006. Missouri Reports of Separation Notices, 1941 to 1946. Nambia Dutch Reformed Church Records, 1956 to 1984. Peru, I can't pronounce this at all, Lambayeque, something like that, Lambayeque, Civil Registration, 1873 to 1998. Portugal, Coimbra Civil Registration, 1893 to 1980. South Africa Dutch Reformed Church Records, 1690 to 2011. Spain, Province of Barcelona Municipal Records, 1387 to 1986. Texas, Eagle Pass Arrival Manifests and Indexes, 1905 to 1954. So those were collections that have added index records to an existing collection. And next, these last two collections have added images to an existing collection. Argentina, Entre Royos Catholic Church Records, 1764 to 1983, and Russia, Simbrisk Poll Tax Census Revision List, 1782 to 1858. Since Family Search is digitizing and placing records online, they have decided to discontinue their microfilm distribution services. The last day that you can order microfilm will be on August 31st. The cost to duplicate microfilm has gone up and the demand has gone down. It has become increasingly difficult and costly to maintain the equipment. They will continue to digitize microfilm, and they should have everything digitized by the end of 2020. All new records that they have been acquiring have been in a digital format. If you would like to view records that are still on microfilm, your options will be to wait until they are digitized or make a trip to the Family History Library in Salt Lake City. Family Search Centers have the option of keeping the existing microfilm that they have or sending it back to Salt Lake City. MyHeritage has added 7 large record collections from the Netherlands. The collections include a census-like collection called Population Registers, a set of vital records for birth, marriage, and death, and a set of church records for baptisms, marriages, and burials. Each collection has an extended description list for the complete archive for that collection. Plans are to update these collections with additional records as the Netherlands Archives releases them. The celebrity names have been revealed for those who are taking part in the 14th UK series, Who Do You Think You Are? The show will be on BBC One starting on Thursday, July 6th. The celebrities are Charles Dance, an actor who searches for information about his father who died when he was 4. Craig Revel Horwood, a dancer, director, and choreographer. He traces his Australian roots. Claire Balding, a sports presenter. She travels to the USA to find out about her hugely wealthy American family her grandfather married into. Adil Ray, star of the sitcom Citizen Khan. He travels to Kenya and Uganda to find out more about his maternal grandfather. Emma Willis, presenter of Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, and The Voice UK, looks into her deep Birmingham roots. Lisa Hammond, an actress, she discovers her rural Welsh gentry. Noel Clark, an actor, or maybe that's Noel Clark, an actor, writer, and director. He traces his ancestry back to the time of slavery on a tiny Caribbean island. Lulu, a singer. Fern Cotton, a BBC radio presenter. And Ruby Wax, a comedian. This is normally the part of the show where I list webinars that are coming up. I noticed looking at my statistics that many people are listening after the webinars have already been given. So if you're interested in what's going on, you can check the Geneatopia calendar. On the calendar, you'll find the webinars, plus Google Plus Hangouts, meetings going on in Second Life, Twitter Gen Chats, and any paid online activities. And that's it for this episode. You can send email to geneatopia@gmail.com. You can find links to things mentioned in this show in the show notes at geneatopia.com, as well as a transcript. The transcript can also be found in the Geneatopia Flipboard magazine, and you can find the recording on YouTube. This is episode 104. Thanks for listening.